अस्सलाम वालेकुम व्यूअर्स। चंद दिन पहले लेक्चरर इंग्लिश मेल और लेक्चरर इन इंग्लिश फ़ीमेल का जो रिटन टेस्ट हुआ था उसके रिज़ल्ट्स आए और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने टेस्ट को पास किया। और मुझसे काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने रब्ता किया, घर पर आकर कुछ मिले, बहुत से लोगों ने कॉल्स की और बहुत से लोगों ने अभी वक्त ले रखा है कि आपका अपना इंटरव्यू का एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था जब आप लेक्चरर इन इंग्लिश सेलेक्ट हुए 2015 में। इंटरव्यू के लिए क्या क्या कुछ करना चाहिए, तो काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने रब्ता किया। अब मेरा इरादा है कि 4-5 वीडियोज़ ही बना देता हूँ कि मेरा अपना इंटरव्यू कैसा हुआ, इंटरव्यू की तैयारी कैसी करनी चाहिए, कौन कौन सी बातें मद्देनज़र रखनी चाहिए। तो ये 3-4 वीडियोज़ इंशाल्लाह मैं बना दूँगा। पहली आज की वीडियो है, इसमें मैं अपने इंटरव्यू के मुतालिक बताऊँगा कि 2015 में जब मेरा अपना पंजाब पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन का लेक्चर इन इंग्लिश का इंटरव्यू हुआ था तो वो इंटरव्यू कैसा हुआ था उसका हवाला इस वीडियो में होगा। आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं मज़ीद वीडियोज़ के लिए। यहाँ पर जनरल नॉलेज से मुतल्लिक़ BC वीडियोज़ मौजूद हैं और इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज से मुतल्लिक़ भी बहुत सी वीडियोज़ मौजूद हैं जो आपके लिए काफ़ी मुआविन साबित हो सकती हैं। तो इंटरव्यू के दिन मैं जब इंटरव्यू के रूम में दाखिल हुआ तो नॉक नहीं किया दरवाज़े पर और मैं अंदर चला गया। अंदर जाकर अस्सलाम वालेकुम कहा और जो ही मैं कुर्सी के पास पहुंचा, द चेयरमैन said to me, please have a seat. So I sat down on the chair and after a while the chairman said, please introduce yourself. So मुझसे लोगों ने कहा था कि आपने इंट्रोडक्शन शॉर्ट करवाना है, लेकिन मैंने ज़रा इंट्रोडक्शन लंबा ही तैयार किया था, इसको प्लान में करके गया था कि क्या क्या चीज़ें मैं इंट्रोडक्शन में डाल सकता हूँ। रटी रटाई चीज़ें तो नहीं थी, तो वहाँ आई कांटेक्ट भी मैंने रखा सबके साथ और इंट्रोडक्शन अपना करवाया। इंट्रोडक्शन में I first of all told them about my name, the name of my father, about my family, and I told them about the profession of my father. That my father was an associate professor and he has served the education department for about 35 years. And after this, I told them about my academic qualifications from matric till masters, which were the boards I appeared in exams for, and how many marks did I get, and what were the universities during my degree class and my master's class, and how many marks I got, and what were the divisions and grades. I told them everything else. And if I told them about the name of the college, the chairman would himself say that what was the name of your university, what was the university your college was affiliated with. And so I completed my academic qualifications. After this, I told them about my about my experience of teaching. So I told them that after completing my master's in English in 2010, I started teaching at a private school. I told them the name of the school. I taught there for 7 months, and after this, I was selected as a CTI in Government Postgraduate College, ABC. I would not tell you the name. And he said, what does this CTI mean? I said it means college teaching interns. So it is a kind of contract of almost 9 months. You complete it, and then the contract is over. You have to apply for the contract the next year once again. And I served as a CTI at that certain government postgraduate college for 3 years. I told them that what kind of performance I had there, were my colleagues happy with me, and how were my students feeling when I taught there, and what were the things that I learned from there as an experience. After this, I went to a cadet college. It was in a city in Upper Punjab. I would not tell you the name of the city. उनको मैंने ऐसा नहीं कहा, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि मैंने उनको कहा जनाब कि मैंने कैरेट कॉलेज में पढ़ाया तो उसका नाम मैं आप लोगों को नहीं बताऊँगा, ठीक है। तो I told them that that particular cadet college was run by a retired colonel and I learned a lot of things from there. I learned punctuality there. I learned good dressing there, and there were a lot of competitions there. I had to take part in each and everything, and I learned a lot of things from there as well. After this, and I was telling them about it, and they asked me that what are you doing nowadays. I told them that nowadays, for about 1.5 year, I have been working as an SC English senior elementary school educator at government elementary school XYZ. And this was my introduction, and I almost took about 3 minutes, I think, in that introduction. I spoke each and everything in detail, and they gave me the time to speak for myself. And it was very good, and they said that you are very fluent, your spoken English is very good, and I maintained eye contact as well. So this was the first question, and there were cross questions as well. The second question that the chairman asked me was, what does PETA stand for? I was not sure then, and I said, sorry, sir, I can't tell you for sure. The next question was, what is lesson planning? Lesson planning क्या है जी, ये उन्होंने पूछा चेयरमैन साहब ने, and I defined lesson planning in my own words. I said that when a teacher is about to deliver a lecture, he sits and he makes a plan for the lesson, that how will he teach that lesson, how will he deliver the lecture, what will be the teaching aids, how will he use the whiteboard, and what kind of jokes can be there, and what kind of examples can he quote, and how will he make that lesson interesting for the students. So each and everything else is written down. He plans this lesson, and after that planning he delivers a very good lecture. So this was my answer. There will be some more things as well. He said, what is the exact definition of lesson planning as is written in the books of education? तो एग्जैक्ट उन्होंने कहा क्या डेफिनेशन है, जैसे एजुकेशन की किताबों में लिखी है. आई सेड सॉरी सर, आई डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज़ रिटन इन द books of education. How can I cram what is the exact definition? After this, the chairman said, what is an academic calendar? Academic calendar kya hota hai? I once again started to tell. I said an academic calendar is a calendar that you usually see in the office of a principal or a headmaster. In that academic calendar, all the events that are about to take place in a year, in an academic year, are mentioned. When will there be the summer vacation? When will there be the winter vacation? What kind of games will be played, and what will be the days when the games will be played, and all other extracurricular activities are mentioned in that academic calendar. When will the papers be held? Everything else is written there. It is very helpful for the teacher and for the head of the institution. It is called an academic calendar. He said, do you know the exact definition of lesson planning? And I said, sorry sir, I do not know the exact definition, but whatever it meant, I have explained in my own words. तो जनाब मुझे एग्जैक्ट डेफिनेशन तो आती नहीं है, तो जो कुछ उससे मुराद था मैंने अपने अल्फाज में बता दिया है. अब ये जो चीज़ है शायद मेरे लिए काफ़ी मुआविन साबित हुई, क्योंकि मैंने अपने अल्फाज में बोला था और आई कंटेक्ट मेंटेन रखा था, बड़े एतमाद के साथ बोला था. और वो उन्होंने 2 दफ़ा मुझसे कहा कि किताब में क्या लिखा है वो आप बताएं. तो मैंने कहा मुझे किताब वाला नहीं पता. बाद में तो मैं घबराया भी सही कि शायद इंटरव्यू अच्छा नहीं हुआ, लेकिन ये 2 चीज़ें मेरे लिए अच्छी साबित हुई. इसके बाद सब्जेक्ट स्पेशलिस्ट थे. उस 4 बंदे थे इंटरव्यू पैनल में. एक चेयरमैन साहब थे, 2 एसएस थे, और एक शायद कोई साइकोलॉजिस्ट थे जिन्होंने कोई सवाल नहीं पूछा. तो पहले जो एसएस थे उन्होंने सवाल पूछा, व्हाट इज़ नेगेटिव कैपेबिलिटी? नेगेटिव कैपेबिलिटी क्या है? So I explained it in my own words. So I said it is an expression used by Keats in his poetry, and it means it relates to qualities in an artist's work which enable him to avoid in it the expression of his own personality. He forgets his own self, the poet, while he is composing poetry. He finds himself in the things that he is writing about. He becomes an object of nature, and all the innocence attached to it comes to him. He doesn't need to justify anything else when he is talking about the sense of beauty or things like this. So he just forgets himself, and this negation of oneself is called negative capability, and Keats had a lot of it. Then the subject specialist asked the second question from me. It was the sixth question. He said, there are two sentences, tell me which one is incorrect. Rather, he said, there are two sentences, tell me which one is correct. Which one is correct? Sorry, I have written wrong. So he said, which one of these two sentences is correct? The first sentence is, many sheep are grazing in the field. The second sentence is, many a sheep is grazing in the field. I said to him, sir, please repeat the second sentence. And he said, I will repeat both of these sentences for you. Listen carefully. So he said, many sheep are grazing in the field, and many a sheep is grazing in the field. Now, I had taught at Government Postgraduate College for about 3 years, and I also taught correction there. So I just considered the both of these sentences, and after much consideration, I could not find any mistake in both of these sentences. So I almost took 20 to 25 seconds thinking about both of these sentences, that which one of these is correct. And as he had said that which one of these is correct, both looked correct. I said the first one is correct, many sheep are grazing in the field. The subject specialist, he just smiled and he said, actually both of these are correct. I also smiled at that time, and he knew that there was some doubt in his mind. He knows both of these are correct. And then he pointed out towards the next subject specialist who asked the first question. He said, while you were giving your introduction, you said a retired colonel was your principal. What is the spelling of the word colonel? तो अब उसने कहा कर्नल की स्पेलिंग क्या है, तो हम उर्दू में इसको कर्नल कहते हैं, इंग्लिश में कर्नल नहीं है, तो इसकी स्पेलिंग मैंने उन्हें बताई, COLONEL. He said, and what is the spelling of lieutenant? I said, sir, LIEUTENANT, lieutenant. He said, how is the sound of F produced in the word lieutenant? And at that I said that, sir, I have watched hundreds of movies, English movies, and in all those movies, actually there are not lieutenants in all those movies, but in some of those movies there were some lieutenants, the movies related to war and army, and they pronounce lieutenant in most of those movies. I haven't heard them say lieutenant, but we say lieutenant in Urdu. I think mostly they pronounce it lieutenant. He said they also pronounce it lieutenant as well. So tell me, where does the sound of F comes from in lieutenant? I said, sir, sorry, I do not know how is it produced. And he said, okay, you should try to search it. I said I will search it afterwards, inshallah, God willingly. And the 10th question was, have you read The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot? क्या आपने T.S. Eliot की नज़म वेस्टलैंड पढ़ी है? दूसरे सब्जेक्ट स्पेशलिस्ट ने पूछा है. अब ये मैंने सही से पढ़ी नहीं थी, लेकिन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कॉन्फिडेंस मैंने वहाँ पर बरकरार रखा अपना. I said, no sir, I have not read its text in detail, but I have read The Hollow Man by Eliot. And he said, okay, then what is the theme of Hollow Man? Hollow Man का मरकज़ी ख्याल क्या है? तो वहाँ पर आपने अपना नॉलेज शो कर दिया है रिटन टेस्ट के अंदर कि आप पास कर चुके हैं, वहाँ आपके अच्छे नंबर आ चुके हैं। तो यहाँ उन्होंने आपका बिहेवियर देखना है, आप कैसे चीज़ों को एक्सप्लेन करते हो, कैसे बोलते हो, आपके थॉट्स वगैरह कैसे हैं। तो उन्होंने मुझे मौका दिया। मैंने कहा आज वेस्टलैंड मैंने डिटेल में नहीं पढ़ी हुई। उन्होंने कहा जी ठीक है, आपने हॉलो मैन पढ़ी है तो उसको बता दें। ये मैं पढ़ा चुका था काफ़ी दफ़ा। इसके ऊपर मैंने एक 1.5 मिनट बोला या शायद ज़्यादा, और वो इसको सुनते रहे जी। तो आई सैड Hollow Man is a poem that was written in the later literary career of T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot was once a very optimistic poem. When he wrote his poem, एक नज़म थी उनकी बीए में, उसका नाम मैंने उन्हें बताया, वो था जी Departure and Arrival. He was very optimistic at that time when the new century started, but when he saw the two world wars and he had some family issues as well, when he saw that millions of people died during the world wars, and when he saw the negative aspects of human personality, he became disappointed with the works of human being. So he wrote this poem, The Hollow Man. He is of the view that the people of this age are hollow. They do not have the virtues in them, the virtues that the people of the past used to have, the virtues of truthfulness, the virtues of sincerity, of kindness, of love. The human being of this age are, according to him, hollow. They don't have these things. And at the same time, he also says that the people of this age are stuffed men. They are stuffed with greed, they are stuffed with hatred, and they are stuffed with violence. He doesn't even like the human face. कुछ यहाँ से इक्का दुक्का लाइनें भी मैंने कोट की उनके लिए, टी एस इलियट की नज़म हॉलो मैन से। तो उसके बाद उन्होंने पूछा जी हैव यू एवर अपीयर्ड फॉर द इंटरव्यू ऑफ पंजाब पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन बिफोर दिस। सब्जेक्ट स्पेशलिस्ट ने पूछा कि आपने क्या कभी इससे पहले पंजाब पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन का टेस्ट दिया है, इंटरव्यू दिया है। तो आई सेड यस सर, आई हैव appeared for the interview obviously, and in 2012 I cleared the test of lecturer in English, and I was called for the interview. I came to this very building, and this was the very room, and probably this was the chair I was sitting on 17 on 12 August 2012, 12 or whatever the date was. I told them the date and the year that this was the date. I was sitting on the very chair, मैं इसी कुर्सी पर बैठा था, इंटरव्यू दे रहा था इंग्लिश के लेक्चरर की सीट के लिए. And the interview was very good, but unfortunately I was not among those lucky ones who were selected. So he said, so why couldn't you succeed in that first attempt? I said, actually sir, I didn't have a lot of experience at that time, and I had only 1 or 2 years of experience. After completing my masters, now I have 5 years of experience. I have taught at a lot of places. I have taught at postgraduate college for 3 years. I've taught at a guided college. I've taught at the private school. I have taught at the government schools. And besides this, at that time I didn't have a lot of knowledge. You cannot get a grip on the whole of the knowledge, but you can try to learn new things every day, and this is my habit. I also try to learn something new every day. I have a lot of books and I keep studying those books. Now I have better knowledge, alhamdulillah, and I have more experience as compared to the my first attempt, and I'm sure that God willingly I will succeed this time. I will be selected this time. This was my last sentence, and then they said, thank you Akil Abbas, you may go now. I said assalamu alaikum sir, and then I left that interview room. ये मेरा इंटरव्यू था जनाब. तो आपको इंटरव्यू की तैयारी कैसे करनी चाहिए? इस वक्त इंटरव्यूज़ बहुत ही छोटे छोटे हो रहे हैं. 2020 में कोरोना पेंडेमिक की वजह से बाज़ लोगों के 3-3 4-4 मिनट के भी इंटरव्यूज़ हुए हैं. 4-4 5-5 सवाल भी सिर्फ किए गए हैं. तो पुराने ज़माने में लंबे लंबे इंटरव्यूज़ हुआ करते थे, बंदे को सही से वो कंगालते थे. तो नेक्स्ट जो मेरी वीडियो होगी वो आपको उसमें बताऊंगा आप अपना इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे करवा सकते हो इंटरव्यू में, और इंटरव्यू के अंदर और कौन कौन से सवाल हो सकते हैं जो कि आपको तैयार करके जाने चाहिए. पहले आपको थोड़ा बहुत होमवर्क होना चाहिए. جو سب سے بڑی بات ہے، آپ نے اعتماد کو برقرار رکھنا ہے. کوئی سوال نہیں آتا آپ سوری کر لیں، وہ آپ سے اور سوال کر لیں گے. اور آپ ان کی آنکھوں میں آنکھیں ڈال کے اعتماد سے باتیں کریں. یہ چیزیں جو انہوں نے دیکھنی ہے، اور باتیں آپ نے ایسی کرنی ہے جیسے ایک ٹیچر کرتا ہے، اپنی اسٹوڈنٹس کو سمجھاتا ہے. تو لمبے لمبے آپ جواب دینے کی کوشش کریں، صحیح سے سمجھانے کی کوشش کریں. یہ مین چیز ہے جو ان کو پسند آئے گی. ڈریسنگ آپ کی اچھی ہونی چاہیے. تو آپ اس چینل کو سبسکرائب کر سکتے ہیں. انشاءاللہ نیکسٹ میں 1-2 دن میں ویڈیو بناتا ہوں انٹروڈکشن کے حوالے سے، اور باقی جو چیزیں انٹرویو میں ضروری ہیں ان کے حوالے سے. تو تب آپ سے پھر انشاءاللہ بات ہوگی. السلام علیکم.